start off with Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, yesterday we heard from counsel that during the investigation, they ceased the investigation when the assailant, when the person who was the complainant wouldn't come forward. Scott, did you have anything to do with ceasing that investigation at that time? Any consultation with the counselor at that time with why this was being ceased?
No, I did not.
Okay. I guess one of my main concerns, and I think if we sit down and really talk about this, we know something happened.
If
but
I could,
the problem.
sorry.
Oh, please go ahead.
Sorry.
Please go ahead.
You said, did I have anything to do with that decision? I was made
Yes.
aware of that decision, but
Okay.
I did not direct that decision. So, excuse me, Mr. Chair, I wanted to clarify that. I apologize for interrupting.
No, Mr. Smith, I really appreciate that because that's where I want to lead to this thing. We knew that there was a problem 4 years ago. And I guess for me, the investigation ceased because the woman wouldn't come forward. But I guess I'm asking you, Mr. Smith, if we know that there are approximately 8 perpetrators on a hockey team, 8 people that are now, it looks to me, signed with the NHL or signed with professional hockey. We weren't doing anything. It was just being swept under the rug. I'm just wondering why Hockey Canada decided not to continue with the investigation to ensure, forget about the girl, this young woman, forget about that. What I'm looking at is what these young men did in the first place. I'm just wondering why Hockey Canada decided that to cease this and not continue asking questions and holding these young gentlemen to account.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't believe that we've swept it under the rug. From the outset, we wanted to make sure that Heenan Hutchison was retained
Mr.
to
Smith,
conduct a thoroughly...
Mr. Smith, I'm just going to interrupt, though. I'm just wondering, if we're trying to change the culture, why are we not continuing to look at these perpetrators in 2000? Why did we cease looking at these perpetrators? If we're trying to change the culture of it, why after the payout did we just cease everything? Not until it came public. Why did we not do anything? Why did you not continue to investigate if you really wanted to change the culture of hockey?
Well, I believe when... thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe on June the 20th, I stated openly that I would welcome the opportunity for the young woman to come forward and provide a statement. We've reopened the investigation, and we've given additional tools with respect to any refusal to participate in the investigation, and we do believe that that will allow Ms. Robitaille to take her investigation to the rightful conclusion, and we look forward to taking that forward to the adjudicative panel.
And Mr. Smith, I applaud you for finally doing that, but unfortunately I have to say finally, that should have been done 4 years ago, and I think you know in your heart that should have been done 4 years ago. I want to switch over to the CHL and speak to from the CHL. Hockey Canada advised you immediately following the 2018 allegations that this had occurred. What did you do as an organization to see what was happening amongst your own teams to ensure that the players that would have participated in this were being looked at, or did CHL, because this was a Hockey Canada sanctioned thing, had no role in this? Can you just advise, please?
So I'm going to defer that question to Mr. Branch, who was the president of the Canadian Hockey League at the time.
Awesome.
Okay, excuse me, Mr. Chair, thank you. I think in part you answered our position at that time. Hockey Canada advised us, I want to say June 19th, of the serious allegations. Days later, we were advised of the action steps that they were taking to investigate, to attempt to contact the family and support the young woman, the police investigation, one thing and another. And clearly, and what we recognized from the get-go is that event, the national team programs, fall under their jurisdiction.
Okay, fair enough. Just with the CHL, can you share with me, I know that there's many sexual assault centers in the City of London. The London Abuse Women's Centre works with the London Knights, or ANOVA does as well. I'm just reaching out to you. Can you share with me what is the programs that you have available so that we can actually talk about this toxic culture and this sexism that does occur, the frat house mentality that occurs when situations like this are occurring? What do you have in place to ensure that there's proper education and that these young men, it's just not 30 minutes once a month, that they're actually living this as well?
Well, as touched on earlier, in 2015 we developed a program with the Ontario Coalition of Rape Crisis Centres. to deal with that. We have a Respect in Sport program through Sheldon Kennedy, which deals with such matters. I think it's we have harassment and abuse programs. It's a constant education, and we've developed a new app for our players to be able to anonymously report any issues or concerns relative to the question you just raised, along with others. And we just continue to challenge how we can best serve the needs of the players and help educate them because they are young people, as we all know.
And
I think that's exactly.
we will have to leave it there. Thank you, Ms. Vecchio.
Go ahead,
And
not
I
a problem.
do see Madam Chair has resumed.